Hey everybody, welcome to SwJ. Today we're going to be talking about a hydroponic wastewater treatment system, which is going to be a solution to a major problem for a lot of developing countries. And we're going to be continuing on my blanket project, sewing this Canada patch onto my blanket. So yeah, hydroponic wastewater treatment systems in Kenya is where we're talking about today. And there's a company out there called Omiflow, O-M-I-F-L-O, O-M-I-F-L-O if you're looking it up. And what they do is a plant-based wastewater treatment system. Now, when I say wastewater, yes, I am talking about the nasty stuff, the anything, beyond the number, well, any number when you head to the bathroom is what we're talking about. And in Kenya, it's a major issue because only 29% of Kenyans have access to modern facilities, waste facilities, bathrooms. Yeah. Basic sanitation is the way I probably should say that. And the one big problem is the places that do have septic fields, the septic tanks, the operators have a tendency to not bring the waste to a certified treatment center and go off on a side road and dump their sewage directly into rivers. So, major problem. And this could be a solution. So what it is it's actually a very visually appealing system because beside your building is basically just different layers of vegetation. The main component here being a hydroponically grown plant called a cattail. And where I am, they grow naturally. And it is true, they do tend to cover smells and just grow completely over top of whatever water source that they are under. They completely take it over. So I can see where that'd be a really good use for the cattails. And the whole thing is you have your sludge, or your waste in, and on the other end comes out clean water. Not potable water. If you want to make the water potable, you can. All you have to do is add a little chlorine shot at the end, add a little bit of chemical to the process, but otherwise a completely chemical-free process. And apparently very low maintenance as well, so pretty cool. A system that can be adopted either on very large scales or very small scales. And the interesting part is that the cattails keep the smell down, or they neutralizes the smell, and yeah, so you don't get the problems that you would traditionally associate with this kind of a system. Now, one thing I didn't realize is they are projecting that Kenya is basically going to triple in population in the very near future. Lots of births over there. So it really brings this issue kind of to the fore. And the traditional systems, for a developing country, it's just way too costly. To put in a septic system and a septic field, for each family, there's just no way, People are living in shacks. So we need to figure out a way to if you are in a very poor community, like I'm talking about, where you're living in little tin shacks, have public washroom areas every so often, and have this green space around it. And that's the other thing, it creates an environment. It creates a complete environment to itself, because you'll end up with birds and frogs and all sorts of things, insects coming and living in this environment. And that in and of itself is pretty cool. And like I was saying, not really any. Well, they say no smell if you do it properly, and so that's pretty encouraging. And then you can have it as a natural space where people can actually come and walk through and enjoy the creatures that are springing up in the area. And uses no power. You just build the whole thing into a bit of a hill, or build a hill, and have these natural. It's a natural process, and it's not really, you don't really have to be up high. It's just so that the water definitely goes in one direction. So it doesn't have to be expensive, not any real major infrastructure. And developing countries, those are the keys. Keep it simple, let it be something that anybody can do. And then Omaflow there can start selling little kits, or if they get successful enough doing private work, they can start giving away kits to places that are really in need, and could be an amazing thing. And that's one thing that I've kind of always said, is the people who are willing to deal with the things that no one else is willing to deal with are the people that are going to be most successful. Because there's always somebody that's going to say, oh, I'd rather just pay somebody to do X, than do it myself. I try to be more of a DIY guy. I'm learning my limitations. But yes, there's always, especially the dirty work. Nobody wants to deal with the dirty work. So I'm surprised that all plumbers aren't rich beyond our wildest dreams, because it's some dirty work. There used to be a series called Dirty Jobs. It was kind of neat. Guy would go around doing all the filthiest things you can think of, including working waste treatment plants. And yeah, one of those shows that you watch, and unless you do have one of those jobs, you go, thank goodness I don't have to do that. And even if you have one of those, there's always limits. People always have their limits. They're always like, I do pretty much anything except that, and that's what makes shows like that kind of interesting. So if you get a chance, watch, do a deep dive on Dirty Jobs. I think Mike Rowe, I think that was his name. Really funny guy. And for a job like that, you kind of have to be, because you're willing to do. Of course, somebody has this celebrity actor personality, persona, whatever, coming on into their factory, they're going to show them the absolute worst thing that they need to do, you know, and sit back and laugh watching somebody try and do it for the first time. It's pretty good. I think we'll call that an episode. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me. Really do appreciate the time we get to spend together. And yeah, till next time, keep chilling. I forgot my cookie downstairs. Again. So yeah, till next time, keep chilling. Don't forget your cookie. Peace.